Okay, hello. Welcome everybody. I hope you can hear me. Looks like we have everything moving right along. So, welcome. Hello and welcome to Ask Polly. We're so glad that you found the time to join us here. Listen, at Talk to Me Tuesday, anything and everything is on the table for discussion. So, don't hesitate to send your questions in to askpollysc@gmail.com. Or you can, send them up here. So we had a lot of good questions coming after last time. As you can see, the main one that came in was saying, hey, you're making Black women look bad. Like, you are really making it look bad for us. You're making it bad for us. So we're going to get into that. So first off, the annoying lawyer in me with the clipboard has to run through the basics real quick. So let's get started. Hi, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Can you see me? Can you see me? So we just want everybody to know, listen, poly is about building, not bussing. Whatever makes it float, whatever makes it squirt. If you love it, I like it, it's all good. But when we talk about poly here at Ask Poly, it is historically all about building. It's about protection of women and children. It was not invented for same sex relationships, and that's not required for it to be poly, but like you said, if you love it, I like it. Everything else is smoke and mirrors. So, we just kind of really got to throw that in there because that's the main topic. If the women aren't sleeping together, what's the benefit? Also, just to kind of recap what we talked about last week, and which was another one of the big topics, it's really one of two things that everybody puts it in. Either poly is about sex or it's a cult. It's really one or the other. Nobody really wants to think about the actual connections with people. So, we came across something very interesting this last week. It is something that actually kind of made me think. And so I wanted to find out what y'all thought. So, since everybody thinks that, or not everybody, a lot of people seem to assume that poly is about sex because why not have more than one person if it's not just about sex? This is something that we found and wanted to know what you thought. So, take a look. So, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that is something that is normal? Do you think that someone that has power, money, land, wealth should have sexual rights to a woman that lives on her land or his land just because that's what they said God allows. So this is the type of thing that is kind of hidden in history. So they look at us and say, well, look at black people. They have baby mamas, they have baby daddies, they do this, they do that, they have the side chicks, where they literally have royal mistresses, kept women. They have laws that allow them to have sexual rights to their women without responsibility. So let me know what you think about that. Like, let me know how you would feel if, today in South Carolina, the governor said, hey, your daughter's getting married. This old law says I can do this or that. What do you think about that? Do you think that is something um, that should be practiced, which I personally think it's kind of crazy, but these are the type of laws that the individuals that are saying God, Christianity, and everything else is saying having more than one love and responsible to more than one love is evil. So the question that really hit it that we're going to talk about is you make black women look bad. Um, that is something that I've heard a lot lately, especially since I've started this. You'd be surprised how much people pay attention to you, and you really don't know until it's something that they feel is mixing up their world. So once you start mixing up other people's worlds, they feel like you're attacking them. They feel like you're telling them what they're doing is wrong, when honestly, you're just explaining how you live, how you see life, and how history puts it. So just like I've said so many times before, if I said I was to sleep with the other woman or the individual that, or, anyone is dealing with, then it's okay. But if you decide to have a relationship with this person and actually get to know this person and have no type of sexual interaction with this person, then you're making it look bad, right? So let me give you this type of thing. So there was, and this is a true story. So there's a guy, right? Really nice guy, lives a long time, has a good wife, kids, all this good stuff, upstanding in the community. On his deathbed, he lets his wife know about his other family and children. She's devastated. This has gone on for, 20, 30, 40 years, however long. She never knew anything. They never missed any money, birthdays, nothing like this. All of a sudden, she is furious. She is angry. For these last 30, 40, 20, whatever years, she never knew that this was happening. She never knew that this man was committed to this other woman. So think about the context, okay? Let's take out possession. Let's take out um, the social human structure of this is mine. What was actually missing from that woman but the knowledge of? So it did not take any money from her. It did not take any love from her. It did not take any type of attention from her, obviously. Um, but at this time now she feels like this man has betrayed her. Now on the other side, we have this woman who has been here 20, 30, 40 years that may or may not know about the wife. Maybe she wanted to meet the wife. Maybe she wanted it to be a whole family thing. And the husband just thought the wife would not understand, which sometimes it is. And that is how you get into the more parallel relationships. But unless it is open, honest, and discussed, it is not poly. Okay. If it is open, honest, and discussed, that is not an other woman. That is not a side chick. That is not someone that is hidden in the shadows. If that is how you are portraying it, then you are not practicing poly. Men that practice poly have to be very detailed and control within themselves in order to keep the emotional roller coasters of women intact. Okay. So for someone to say that, for me to be okay and content within myself to know that For a man to have a liking or a love for another woman does not take away what he has for me. I don't think that it makes a black woman look bad. I am a 41-year-old woman who was divorced, and my first marriage was abusive. Okay. So let's look into some of the things behind not wanting to be in a traditional, which is now actually the modern way of marriage. If you are in love with someone, you are supposed to be ultimately committed and attached to that person for life, up and down, no matter what, right? What does a piece of paper, which is actually a license, okay, which says I own this person and this person owns me, which many people who have a license have side individuals or kept women. I don't like the word side chick because if she calls and he answers, I mean, it is two sides to every coin. Let's just get it real. But you cannot assume because of a religious upbringing, which it's all through the Bible. And if they only say Old Testament, then I mean, tithing got to go too, but they don't want to talk about that, okay? This is something that has been practiced since the beginning of time. It is not about possession. It is not about sex. It is about building. It is about money. It is about connections. And it is about living your life experience in a way that makes sure that you are able to experience more than just this little box that started about in the 1100s. Okay. So let me know what you think. Do you think it makes black women look bad in order not to fight over men? I mean, if an individual wants to be single but still wants to be connected to a person and doesn't want to be a hoe, I mean, I don't understand why it has to be, well, you have to be with me and only me, but I don't really want to do this and I don't really want to do that. I mean, if we're all adults and everybody is understanding what is going on and everybody is content within themselves, nobody is in a cult, nobody is in a sexual, deviant type of, well, there are some that are, like I said, whatever floats your boat, whatever makes it squirt. But just to attach that and that negativity and that self-degrading type of thing, it really is backwards. Because if you are able to look at someone that you love and see them enjoying time with someone else, or get excited about when they tell you the details of them enjoying time with someone else, there is nothing that can get to your self-esteem. There is nothing that can really ruin your atmosphere. So to say that, it ruins a person or it makes a woman look bad or it makes black women look bad, I would have to say I don't agree with that. But then again, it's just me. So let me know what you think. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Y'all, my volume was off. Okay, well, hopefully the caption was coming through. I hope it was, but if not, I guess listen, can't win them all. We'll get it back. We'll get it back, but I appreciate it. Okay, so we're back. Look, we talked about the yucca, we talked about the cypress oil. The last thing we're going to talk about, gosh, when you finally get something right, it's okay. We're going to get it. We're going to work it out. The desert rose. So, the desert rose stone is found in most dry areas around the world. The Sahara Desert, the Arabian Desert, clay deposits. Y'all, please, Cuzzo, hit me back and let me know when it went out. I'm not sure exactly when the volume went out, but let me know. Um, it's also found in clay deposits in California, Nevada, Oklahoma. It is really good for nightmares. You can get this, put it in a satchel with a little bit of lavender. You can put it up under your pillows. It's good for nightmares, anxiety, positive thinking. It's also good for wealth, but for the nightmares, the anxiety, things like that, you can put it in a satchel with a little bit of lavender, put it up under your pillow. You know, like I said, I was in the military, those nightmares, things like that can get to you. So those really do help with that. Ooh, I'm so happy y'all decided to join. Okay, so I guess we missed everything from the last break. So we're looking at the yucca and the cypress oil. Um, again, you can see with the yucca here, it basically looks like a sweet potato. It's good for anti-inflammatory, joint pain. It helps with your GI tract, helps with the gallbladder. It's like a sweet potato, cassava type of thing. Like I said, we really have to look at the properties in the foods that we eat. Like they have us in living in food deserts because they want us not to be able to get a hold of the foods that help you live. Okay. So this is the type of foods that we eat all the time, like I was saying, for different holidays and things like that, but you never know the properties of it. So like I said, me, I take Tylenol, maybe ibuprofen, you know what I'm saying? Old military, joint wounds, gout, things like that. This is good for it. Everybody loves sweet potato. It's a good substitute if you can't find yucca root. You can actually have some of the dried yucca and make a nice tea out of it. We talked about the cypress oil. I'm not going to put the picture back up because it was just a pain in the butt to find. The cypress oil, like I said, comes from the Middle East, and these things are all throughout the Bible. These are different things. Well, the cypress oil, I don't know about the yucca. We'll have to look at that, but I'm pretty sure it's something, they had to eat in there. But the cypress oil is known for blessing, concentration, consecration, house blessings, overall healing. It is really good to help individuals that are dealing with loss or grief. Okay. Not sure if y'all heard about the gods, but we're just going to go ahead and keep it rolling because we're almost out of time. I will remember to unmute myself next time. Yay! Listen, we got the IT department working though, so we're moving on up there. So there's one last thing I kind of want to hit on with the whole "you make the black woman look bad" thing. A lot of people think that a woman in this type of lifestyle is in it for the money. That is true in some instances, but in most of the time, when it is that, it doesn't really work out because most individuals that will deal in that way are not, the men aren't really about poly. They're more about um, sexual pleasure. Okay. And so when you're looking at it in that way, those two individuals will end up finding each other under the guise of poly, but it really doesn't perform in the way that it should. So it kind of falls by the wayside. So that's one thing. I really don't have any other explanation for that because that's really like a personal preference. Um, but one last thing on the, you have to be able, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to word it in a way that makes sense. You really have to be able to understand where your value lies, and that's in any relationship. If you feel like your value as a person, as a wife, as a girlfriend, as a boyfriend, as a husband, as anything in that intimate circle lies in how someone deals with someone else, you're always going to be unhappy because you're always going to feel, whether it's the job or the boys or the show or the kids or, the sport or the drink or this, whatever it is, something is always going to feel like it's competing. In order to be successful in a poly relationship, there is no competition. You literally thrive on seeing others smile and seeing others being happy and building with others because it's like, wow, look what we did, you know? Um, so that is really the whole ideal behind it. So if you have to have that mindset, I don't see how it can make someone look bad, but that's my thinking. Okay, so we're about to wrap it up. I really want to thank y'all for coming in. Oh, about the volume. I hear the little one screaming. So, we will see you next week, but let me know what you think. Last thing, hey, African proverb: a bird that flies off the earth and lands on an anthill is still on the ground. Our side, every cloud has a silver lining. Hey, thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Everyone came to Earth for a reason and a season. Not everyone is meant to walk the same path. To think or force someone to do what's considered normal may not always be right. Remember, the same people who are telling you how you should think and feel passed a law to casually kill black men, women, and children. History and their story are hate and possession. Our story and the true story of the past is love and building. Join us as we dive into any and everything. Tuesdays at 8 p.m. starting this month.